And we are live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very quick and kind of just out there video. We want to talk to you about DC FanDome. They announced, the lineup of what you can expect. Obviously, there's going to be some surprises. I don't think they fully are released everything. There might be something that they might be holding on to, something special, some goodies. But right now, we do have the schedule. We do know what they're going to show, and so we thought we would just talk about it. We have everything from video games to movies to TV shows. So why not just talk about what is expected, for them to show us? So I am your host, Dana Abercrombie. I am joined by Mr. Sir Richard Bailey Jr. How are you doing?
Doing good, Dana. What's up, listeners and viewers?
Very now, as you can see, I got the DC FanDome hat, so I'm ready. I'm repping. See, it's not a Marvel hat this time. I got my hats right.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like
absolutely.
chanting CM Punk, and it's like finally at CM Punk. So it's taken me some years, but I'm getting there. So, as we know, DC FanDome, it's a huge event that they did last year to much success, where they presented everything from the Warner Brothers lineup, from TVs to movies to video games, about what you can expect in that coming year and also in 2021. Obviously, some things got delayed because of the panorama. That's okay. But what we did see really brought us great excitement and happiness and joy. And so, why not just start off right off the back? There is the Warner Brothers Pictures. They're going to showcase six highly anticipated titles with all brand new trailers. So, yay! We have up first the Batman. Now, the Batman we know is starring Mr. Robert Pattinson. It had its little nice debut over at CinemaCon this year, which was over in Las Vegas a couple of like days ago. Not even gonna say a week, but like a couple of days ago, where they did show like a nice featurette. They showed how Catwoman looks. They showed her costume, and the main thing that people were saying was that it works. They're really excited for this iteration. We had the rumors of Robert Pattinson saying he really wasn't into exercising, he really didn't care about this. But screw that. From what everything they said, it looks like it works. This is the vision of Matt Reeves, and that he is doing something that's brand new, and it feels refreshing to audiences who have kind of been through the years of the Batman movies and the TV shows. So, is this something that you're excited to see, Mr. Sergeant?
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember the first trailer I saw that they showed last year, and yeah, the trailer looked very interesting. The brutality in which Robert Patterson beat up the guy. That's why I thought, oh, well, that's yeah, yeah, that made me most interested to see exactly how this version of Batman is going to be different from the previous versions. Obviously, I think you mentioned before this is going to be the second year that Batman has been on the job. That's when the storyline takes place. So obviously, a much younger. He still has to learn the ropes of what it means to be a hero for Gotham City, stuff like that. So I'm very interested to see, how he does this role, and of course to see where it leads as far as if he will be getting other opportunities to be in other connected DC movies, or if this is just a one-off. Because I do believe if it is a success, then DC may say, okay, we may need to explore other opportunities. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Well, the plan kind of, I think I'm muted. Oh, okay. So the plan kind of was that a trilogy, but we don't know. And also,
Mm-hmm.
we heard a lot of trilogies before about, say, Mortal Instruments and uh, other movies, and that we never really got. We never got the end of, what was it, Divergent, Allegiant. We still don't have the end of that. Um, so the plan is a trilogy. Hopefully, again, we don't know, but there was a lot of positive things coming out. They were saying that, as you were saying, that he's younger, he's not fully in control of that kind of emotions, so he's very aggressive. We've seen him in the trailer before, just like, I'm Batman, and just pummeling a guy.
Yep.
I'm vengeance, and so it's very exciting, and it's nice to see someone who's like, it's nice to see someone like not fully refined and probably defying Alfred and everything that he's telling him, don't do this, Master Wayne. And he's like, screw you. of Batman. So
Yeah.
that could be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Next thing we have is a movie that a lot of people haven't talked about, even though a trailer dropped. This is for DC League of Super Pets, and the main voice of the Super Pet, the dog, is going to be by Mr. John Cena. So when they said the summer of
Oh.
Cena, it's like the year of Cena. He's doing everything. He's getting his paycheck. But the film is set for release on May 20th of 2022, and it will document a story of a crime-fighting pets as Superman goes on holiday. So that's really cute. It will also feature Kevin Hart, and while the superhero is away from his action, his dog ends up teaming up with a flying cat. So you can imagine who the cat is going to be played by. And we do know that, Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart have really great friendship. So it's
Oh
cute to
yeah.
see that. And I'm sure we'll have 15,000 short jokes because it wouldn't be a Kevin Hart
Yeah.
movie without the short jokes. So, yeah, we have Dwayne Johnson and we have Kevin Hart. And we have Crypto, the super dog, and Ace, the bat hound, respectively. It'll also star Kate McKinnon, John Krasinski, which we all know from I'm forgetting The
The
Quiet
Office.
Place, The Office, and
Yep.
The Quiet Place Part 2.
Jim from The Office. Yep.
Jim from The Office. We have Mr.
Hmm.
Michael Douglas, who we did see in What If, Marvel's What If, episode 3,
Hmm.
as Hank Pym. So, no spoilers with that one if you haven't seen it, but it's such a good episode. Oh my God. We have Jamila Jamali, we have Diego Luna, and we also have Mr. Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
So that should be very nice. And it's they said that it's very sweet. The quote they used was, "We're all always been a big fan of DC fans at heart, so we're able to play in this space and tell these stories based on these beloved characters, which is truly an honor." So not many people know of the League of Super Pets. So it's really nice to see them using properties that hasn't really been out there.
Hmm.
So it's not just the Batmans and the Supermans. Now we got their pet animals. So that's cute. Any thoughts on that, Mr. Sir Richard?
I mean, I'll probably check it out. I don't really know what to expect yet because I didn't see any trailers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a movie where obviously I am a pet lover, so I do want to check it out to see, because I remember I saw The Secret Lives of Pets, that movie when that came out a while back, and I did see the sequel, even though I didn't think the sequel was quite as good as the original. But yeah, I'll check it out at least, but I wouldn't say I'm overly excited for it, but I might give it a chance. We'll see based on the trailer.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Round of applause. Okay, so after that we have, ready for this? Now just imagine big orchestra music playing. It's building up the drums. Black Adam. So that is the Dwayne Johnson, marketed by him because he's a great marketer and he can only
Hmm.
market things himself excellently. The big action pack adventure that Dwayne Johnson has been teasing for like a year. If you follow his Instagram, you follow his Twitter, or any of his social medias, he's been posting pictures. He's gotten real extra big. I think he's bigger than where he was in Fast. What is it, 80 or what? The last Fast movie he was in, Hobbs and Shaw.
Hmm.
So he makes that version of him look like Kevin Hart. So that will be showing, the first look. It's going to be sneaky peeky. We're going to get first looks of that. Is there any excitement about the Black Adams? Did you care?
Oh yeah. Much like with Batman, I'm curious to see what this project would mean for Dwayne Johnson's future involvement in DCEU. I know
Mm-hmm.
when he did that video last year, he teased about not liking the Justice League and potential showdown with Superman in the future. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to see if that actually happens, even though this it will probably not be a Snyder cut. So fans may not see the same version of the Justice League ever again. I don't know, but yeah, I I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, I'm a fan of The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a majority of his movies, so pretty sure I'll check this out also, for sure.
Oof. There's also been a rumor that Henry Cavill, they've been in talks, Warner Brothers has been in talks with Mr. Henry Cavill to reprise his role in some shape or form as Superman.
Oh,
For
really?
those who watched, yeah, for those who watched, what was it, Shazam? Remember, it was at the very end where the kid was like, "And here's my special friend," and they walked into the lunch cafeteria, and all
Hmm.
we saw was the Superman logo and the kind of the costume, and we didn't see a face. So maybe we could see a face in this one, and it's Henry Cavill. That would be cool. But this
What's that?
movie is yeah, this movie is not set to release into 2022, kind of like all of the other movies. And
Hmm.
for those who don't know, the story is of a supervillain that was inspired by the comics of the nemesis of Captain Marvel. So, Dwayne Johnson, he is in the lead role. You know, there's a lot of expectations for this series, and it's going to kind of like focus on the supervillain film. So maybe we'll get some of that. Now, the exact date for the release right now is December 2021. Um, so, which was forced back because they had the other release date was July 29th, 2022. Wait, I think I got that backwards. The original date was December 22nd, 2021. But because of the panorama, we're now getting it in on July 29th, 2022. So it's quite a ways away, but it's not that ways away. They started filming back in April of 2021. So hopefully everything will be on track. So yay for that. Um, so that looks like it's something, and we also on that will be Pierce Brosnan, as we know from James Bond. He will play Dr. Fate. Then there's Sarah Shaheen. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. I am so sorry, but she plays Adriana Tomas. Also, there is Noah Cientos, which I probably butchered that, but he's also known from the Netflix movies like P.S. to All the Girls I Loved Before,
Hmm.
those kind of movies. Aldous Hodge is in it as Carter Hall. You know who Aldous Hodge is?
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with him.
It will also feature Maxine Hunkel, and there are other roles that's been unconfirmed. They're not releasing everything all at once, and hopefully we'll get that. We'll probably get a semblance of a teaser trailer, so that should be really exciting for those to see. I know a lot of people are excited to see anything with The Rock in it because he's just one of those actors who can really just, he's no longer a wrestler. People no longer see him as a wrestler. We just see him as an actor. So, kind of moving on from that, we will also get a sneak peek of The Flash, which is a Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. So, we know that it underwent a couple of rewrites. We know because of Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg. He is no longer in that because of the whole Walter Hamada, uh, Josh Whedon, and other situations. He's not in it, so they rewrote the script. They put him out of it. And as we know, this is going to be about Flashpoint. We're going to see multiple Batmans. Uh, Not Batmans. Yeah, Batmans. Sorry. Multiple Batmans, and it's going to, it's about the universe, the time. Sorry, I'm stumbling. It's about the multiverse and that. So, is there any excitement? There's been a lot of set photos that's released. Do you feel anything for that, Richard?
Uh, we'll see. You said this is for yeah, I got a bit of a distracting text. Which movie is
Mm-hmm.
this for again?
The Flash.
Oh yeah, The Flash. Well, I have to be honest. Um, there's a little bit of intrigue. I know Ben Affleck is returning as Batman. I know he's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to play an important role in this movie. Um, I'm somewhat interested. I think I'm only interested because we did see a little bit more of the Flash and the Snyder cut, some of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that was removed. Even though I
Mm-hmm.
was not a fan of the whole hot dog stuff with that whole incident that was very random, right? Very very out there. I would give it a chance, but again, I don't think I'm as excited for this movie as I am for obviously Black Adam and Batman because I definitely want to see what they do with those movies. But I will check this out just to see what the storyline is going to be and how they use certain people, and of course because of the fact that Michael Keaton is playing a role in it as well. So yeah.
Well, we do know that it will star Michael Keaton. Um, and we also know that it will release hopefully this time November 4th 2022, and that it's still in pre-production. We also know that it will feature Supergirl, it will feature Iris West, it will feature Nora Allen, and we have Henry Allen. So we're gonna
Now,
know. Yeah.
a quick question: the same actress playing Ira West, or did they recast her?
No, 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 they recasted her with Sasha Cali. And
Uh,
it's a different Supergirl.
okay.
Yeah, no. So yeah, they will. Ron Livingston is in it. He's going to be Henry Allen, who's obviously the daddy.
Yeah.
So that will happen with that. And there's a lot of excitement because we do know that Ben Affleck is in it, and we do know that Michael Keaton, the original Mr. Batman. So we do have an interview coming up with Michael Keaton, but it's not about the Batman. It's about a very good show called Dope Sick that will be out on Hulu. But he
Okay.
does kind of mention some things about the Batman without confirming, even though we do know that he's in it. But he is not going to spoil anything. So it's
Hmm.
very nice what he's doing with that one. So moving on from that, we also have Shazam, God of the Furies, which we know is the sequel to the first Shazam movie. And that one seems to be, I know we don't know a lot about that, but some people are excited. It also appeared during, what was it, the last DC FanDome. So we're gonna get a lot more of that, possibly a teaser trailer, if not a trailer. Um, Hopefully, some more set photos will release from that. Do you really care about the Shazam movies?
I enjoyed the I did enjoy the last one, the first one, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did enjoy that movie. I'm curious to see. I mean, towards the end of the movie, you start to see there's other actors and actresses that make the cameo appearances as the other relatives, the brothers and sisters, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
of the family. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I'm curious to see what the because I had heard at one point the sequel was in development, but I haven't heard any other news. So I will check that out for sure.
Well, they did just finish filming, so they wrapped up with that.
Okay.
The cast is kind of back. So you got the Megan Good, you got the Zachary Levi,
Hmm.
you got Adam Broderick. So everyone has kind of came back. You have Lucy Liu is in it. So this should be really good. And then on top of that, they added Helen Mirren. They added Rachel Ziegler. She is the daughter of Atlas. Sorry, not Atlantis, Atlas. So we're gonna have some gods, and it's called, you know, Fury of the Gods. So it's gonna be about some angry gods. While we don't know what the full plot is, we can assume that it is gonna involve some angry gods.
Yeah.
So also on top of that, we're gonna have the behind the scene looks at Aquaman. So it's now called And the Lost Kingdom, which is basically Aquaman 2, which stars Jason Momoa. Did you like the first one? Because I really didn't.
All right. Well, this is the part where DC will probably get mad of this coverage, and I really don't care. I still haven't seen that movie. Now,
Oh.
I will make a point to see it before because I do like the actor that's in the movie that
Mm-hmm.
plays one of the villains because I think
Mm-hmm.
that that same actor is he was in Candyman. He's also in Matrix 4, which I am really curious to see what that's like. And hopefully, Warner Brothers will release a trailer of that at some point since the movie is coming out in December. I would imagine they're going to release
Mm-hmm.
a trailer soon. But I will check it out just to see how it was. But I'm not necessarily excited about the sequel only because I haven't really seen the first movie. I think that Jason Momoa is still I don't have a problem with him as an actor. He's been in a couple other movies, and I actually do also want to watch that C series that he is in, especially because I
I.
saw that they're
Mhm.
advertising him and Batista as the the showdown happening in season 2. So I want to watch that for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
We have an interview with
Okay.
one of the actors that I can't say yet because it's slightly
Uh-oh.
embargoed and he may or may not be dead, but we do have an interview with that.
Okay.
And I have seen, I can say I've seen 4 episodes of C,
Okay.
season 2. And yeah, it gets gritty as it does. It's improved from the first season because a lot of complaint from the first season was that it was boring, straight up boring, and it is a laborious task to get through. And
Okay.
I'm not going to deny that it was laborious. There was moments where I'm like, God, please, why? Help me. They can't see. I wish I didn't hear. Sorry, but yeah, it improves. Yay!
Okay.
And Batista's he's getting his credits. He's getting his
Yep.
acting credits. He's taking this very seriously. We already know that he's going to do a buddy cop movie with Jason Momoa. So that should be really exciting to see. So kind of moving on from that, we now have television that we're looking into. We have Batwoman, which a lot of people have said is atrocious. I kind of agree. But have you seen anything of Batwoman?
I have not. You're talking about the TV show?
The TV show. The
I,
one that
I
they're
I've
like.
only heard about the recastings of the lead character and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched the show yet. You know, I guess it's because I think about CW and when they had all them shows on CW, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have access to CW, even though I probably can get access very easily to it. I haven't really been interested in it because a lot of the shows on CW I never was really into any of the superhero shows anyway. But we'll see.
The shade.
I mean, again, I think it depends. When you watch a show for the very first time, it may take time to grow on you. I know another show that you'll mention later on that I have been watching, Titans. I heard a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
mixed thoughts on the show, and I listened to those thoughts before I actually watched the show. When I started watching the show, like, what the hell are the critics talking about? The show is actually pretty good. So I might be willing to give this show a chance, but I just haven't had an opportunity to check it out yet.
All right. Well, for those who do watch the show, yay for you. They did announce that they announced that Bridget Regan is cast as Poison Ivy. So Poison Ivy, Pamela, was it Isley? So we do know that she is the former botany student from Gotham University. They described it as passionate, brilliant scientist with a mind for changing the world for the better. But her
Mhm.
plans shift when she is experimented on by a colleague, injected with various plant toxins, which turned her into the infamous Batman villain Poison Ivy. So she, with a formidable power coursing through her veins, Pamela uses her powers to do what she thought was right, even if Batman and the closest to her disregard her with dangerous methods. Now efficiently wiped off the board for years, Batwoman and the Bat Team must prepare themselves for Poison Ivy to return with vengeance. So yeah,
This
that's
is season
yeah.
2 or
We are in season 3.
yeah, season 3. Okay, yeah, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Did 3 whole seasons of this. But no, yay. And she will be a reoccurring guest starring role
Okay.
with this. So we'll see how she does in the Batwoman uh, sphere. Kind of moving on from that, we do have The Flash, which I know you have not really been a fan of because you're not a fan of these 2 shows.
No,
But
no.
I am. I've been watching The Flash, and yeah, I would be okay if this upcoming season is his last season because it's gotten to the point where it's like we all know that every CW show kind of has that bad acting sometimes, and we do know that the special effects budget is like $1.99. But that kind of wins you over because they try really hard, and sometimes the plots are really good.
Hmm.
And so for this one, they revealed that, we have the whole Flash family, which they changed some of the characters from the comic books to like what's supposed to be the gods. The grandson is now the son's son, and they're twins. And what works on paper sometimes doesn't work well on the screen, especially when you downgraded your $1.99 special effects budget to 99 cents. But we do know that for season 8 we're on, there's a 5-part special that's called Armageddon that will begin on November 16th. And Armageddon will feature numerous guest appearances from the other CW, heroes and villains. So we do have Batwoman, we have the Atom, we have Chris Williams is back as Black Lightning, even though the show is ending. We have that. We have Sentinel. We have Mia Queen. We have Ryan Choi. We do have Tom Cavanaugh is back, which, he kind of was like written off the show because he wasn't coming back. But he is back. We also have Neil McDonough. He will return as Eborn Thawne, Reverse Flash, and Damien Dark. So what's planned for this season of this 5-part episode thing, which, is kind of like the crossovers that they always do, but they couldn't do because of the panorama, was that in Armageddon, there's a powerful alien that it's a big threat that arrives on Earth under mysterious circumstances, and Barry, Iris, and the rest of Team Flash are pushed to their limits in a desperate battle to save the world. But this time running out, the fate of humanity is at stake, and the Flash and his companions will always need to enlist the help of some old friends from from the good to prevail over against the evil, which, is kind of like the same statement they say every time there's a crossover event. So, yay for that, for those who are really interested. I know that you were very adamant of, not watching The Flash also. I think if you even had the CW, you were like, no!
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
There were some shows on CW that I used to watch, but then those shows, they just kept going on and they never ended. So I lost interest. So we'll see.
Which is kind of why I'm really happy that the Arrow was no more. And then you could see Stephen Amell be a wrestler and him emote better.
Yeah.
He's emoting much better than what he was as Green Arrow.
I do have some thoughts about that show. I'm gonna save that for another podcast.
Oh, what? You don't like the show?
We'll get into that show. We're gonna save that for another podcast. But I do have some things to say.
The shade of it all. I love it. For the record, I love the show. I cried. Right. We have an interview with Stephen Amell and the creator of it, and I'm like boo-hooing through the whole thing. So, yay. Moving on, we're going to have Superman and Lois, which is actually a really good show. It's one of their best CW shows. So, we do know, the first season, it wrapped its first season, so maybe they'll start teasing what'll be in season 2. There's 15 episodes to get through if you have not watched it. But again, it's one of those shows where it's like, oh my gosh, this is the CW. Cool. It did good. So we'll have some of that. They didn't really explain what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna fully tease it because for those who haven't seen, there's a lot of actually really good twist where it's like, oh, you hired writers. So on top of that, we do have Sweet Tooth, which is the Netflix show, which I know that you've seen, Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
I haven't seen the show. I have seen the interview, however, that you did.
Mm-hmm. So it was the interview.
Yeah.
In the interview, I interviewed Neil Sandeman.
Yeah.
Which I hope I did not butcher that, but he was also in The Flash where he played the Thinker. Mm-hmm. But he talked a lot about the TV show. He talked about, just doing comic book TV shows as well, just as a whole in general. His love for that, kind of his love for Sweet Tooth. We do know that Sweet Tooth season 2 is coming. We have 4 new hybrid characters that maybe they will discuss during the panel. So we have that's coming up, and I know a lot of fans are excited because Netflix rarely renews a show, especially for the first season. So, yay. But we will have 8 episodes of that, and that they are set to return to production January 2022. And then hopefully, if everything is okay, they plan on wrapping in May. So that should be good. The 4 characters that they are going to announce is Finn Fox, who is mostly human with fox ears, so it's like a hybrid. It's a human fox. We have Wally Walrus, who is kind of self-explanatory. He's a human with a walrus. We have Haley Mockingbird, which looks like a mockingbird and a human. And we have Jojo Cat, which is a wide-eyed and docile, and that she is internally curious about people and puzzles. So this looks like a very good season 2 that could come up. Moving on from that, we do have a farewell tribute to Supergirl as it approached its epic conclusion after 6 seasons. We have about around 100 episodes of that. So they're going to do a nice little tribute to the show, which should be good because they kind of did they did the character not great justice sometimes. The show, when it was great, it was great. We had tackled a lot of different issues. It tackled what it's like to be black in America. I'm like, what is going on? The show is deep. So, for what it gave us, it did very good. But it's ended, and it's going to be a farewell tribute to that. And lastly, we have kind of DC Legends of Tomorrow, which was going to be a celebration of that show as well. So I know that some people are really excited for that, at least DC Legends. That's also a really great show. I like what they're doing with that. Moving on from that, we also do have Naomi now. I wanted to talk about Naomi because Naomi is a new TV show. It's considered a drama. This is by Ava DuVernay, which is kind of her first foray. Not her first, because remember, she was supposed to work with Warner Brothers on a previous DC property movie. This was a DC movie, and that kind of went to poop. It didn't work. So she's moved on to the CW, and she's gonna do this. It's black. So that should be also really good. They did tease a first look image a while ago. They had some behind the scenes of what's going on, but we're gonna probably get a full trailer, hopefully, this time around about the TV show and Naomi. This looks like it's considered a fan favorite of the DC comics. So that should be something really good. It will star Casey Wallfall as Naomi. They also had there's some behind the scenes footage, but we really haven't seen a lot of them, in production in terms of here are some set photos and here's what's really going on with the show. So that should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. It will debut in 2022 on the CW. Hopefully everything goes to plan. Moving on from that, we do have they're going to tease the rest of the episodes coming up for DC Stargirl. DC Stargirl kind of feels like it feels like a CW junior show. Like it fits into the CW universe, but it's like it's like a DC superhero girls kind of thing, which it's still very good. So that is something that people are looking forward to if you like DC Supergirl. And then kind of taking over, here is your turn where you have the Warner Brothers games. So this also means that the games have not fully went over to Discovery Plus.
Yes.
Remember when they Discovery Plus kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to purchase Warner Media. Well, no, how did it go? It was like they're going to work together. And so we kind of wondered what was going to happen to the video games, because you remember there was a lot of things where it was going to be split. There was a lot of different opinions. There were some controversies, but this is your turn to talk about Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad kill the Justice League.
Yeah, so let me start by just saying that this obviously is, in terms of video games, I'm certainly looking forward to this more. But like I'm looking forward to the TV shows also, but I look forward to this especially because The Gotham Knights game, for starters, was supposed to come out this year. The game
Mm-hmm.
got delayed because they needed more time to work on the game, which is totally fine. But I'm intrigued based on the last gameplay trailer we saw the last year, because the whole storyline is that Batman is supposedly killed, and this team now has to, basically they have to do Batman's job, making sure that they're taking care of Gotham in his absence. Now, the question that I have, and it's a question that I've often discussed with our other very good friend, Mr. Gary Swaby, is I really don't think you can make a game without Batman. Like, to say that Batman is straight up dead, I would challenge that theory. And this is what intrigues me about the storyline, because I don't think that Batman is dead, but I want to see how they're going to tell that story, um, and how you're going to really emphasize how everything is basically playing through with the other characters. Now, we saw some of the gameplay. Some of it did not look. It looked a little rough around the edges in certain areas, but the co-op concept of working and playing with others, that looked really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing the game. Hopefully, I'm hoping that when we get to this event in October, we'll see a lot more gameplay. Obviously, we'll maybe get a firm release date. I know they said next year. I don't recall them ever saying a solid confirmed release date. Maybe they said a window, but they didn't say a release date yet. I don't think. I have to double check that. But I look forward to seeing the game for sure, because that's one game I was looking forward to playing this year. And obviously, if you were fortunate enough to pick up a PS5 or Xbox Series X, there has not been that many games that have been out so far this year. This is why I was looking forward to this game, and then it got delayed. So I look forward to seeing more on it in October, and hopefully playing it sometime next year. As for the Suicide Squad game, Rocksteady Games does a phenomenal job anytime they do a game. I know that last year, leading up to this announcement, I finally finished Arkham Knight, and unfortunately, I did see some of the spoilers before I finished, but I didn't get the full context of everything that was happening in the actual story. Uh, One thing that I didn't really like about Arkham Knight is how it made the Batmobile such a major part of the gameplay. But after playing it, it's like, you understand certain aspects of what they did, and they obviously wanted to try and add something new to the experience. Otherwise, it would feel just like the other Arkham games they did previously. So that's fine, but now you're in a game where the player is playing as the Suicide Squad. Brainiac is obviously the villain. He has control over Superman. So what I'm curious to see, obviously, my guess is that Brainiac is going to be the lead villain. You'll probably have to take him out. You'll probably have to fight Superman in the game as well. You're not going to kill Superman. I don't believe they're going to do that. But Brainiac, yeah, you probably will have to take out Brainiac. But last time we saw the game, we saw a cinematic trailer. This game is not coming out, I think, until 2023. It was initially supposed to be 2022, but I'm pretty sure that this game has gotten further delayed because of COVID and all this other stuff. So I would make a guess. Maybe we'll see it 2023, maybe even early 2024. That's a possibility. But what I will say is that I'm expecting gameplay. When they show this trailer again, I do not want to see a cinematic trailer for the second time. Because the one thing that annoyed me about some of these shows that we've seen over the last couple of weeks, Gamescom, the stuff from EA and all this other stuff, is all the cinematic trailers are cool, but everyone knows this is not how the game is actually going to look. So I would appreciate it if we see gameplay. At least with Gotham Knights last year, we saw a gameplay. So I give them props for that. So I'm definitely expecting to see gameplay for this game in some state of form, because the way I look at it is that they've had almost a full year since the last DC show, so that we should get some type of gameplay for it. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. I'm looking forward to Gotham Knights. So those will definitely be the things that I'll be talking about most from DC from the DC event in October. But I am going to check out the shows as well. But for gaming purposes, yes, I'm looking forward to both of those games. So hopefully I will not be disappointed.
So you're all give me the games. Give me the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so those are the two games. I kind of wish it was more than just two. I feel like it's
Um,
a little shortchanged to two games.
I mean, there may be, I don't know, there could be other announcements. The thing is that with Warner Brothers, I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that when all of this stuff happened with Warner Media, if I had to make a guess, they decided, well, the projects that are already in development, that must continue regardless, because I don't think the deal that they have with Discovery is going to be finalized until next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. It is going to impact what comes after these games. So, but I don't think it's going to impact these two games. But I'm pretty sure there's some other games that they wanted to do for DC.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll get a surprise announcement of something. I mean, my thought is that with this DC event, there has to be some type of surprises that we don't know, because you can't have people coming to this event and you just tell them in advance this is everything that you can expect. There needs to be at least some type of surprise. So I would not be surprised if another game is in development. They just haven't spoken about it, but I don't know. As for the shows and movies, that's probably where the surprise will be, because we know that the two studios that are working on games, I don't know if they're working on anything else. So, but we'll see.
Hmm. Very true. So, kind of moving on from that, we have HBO Max, which will
Yes.
be showcasing Peacemaker. It's a John Cena TV show that I know a lot of people are interested in. On the website, we do have the John Cena Summer of Cena interview, where he talked about the Suicide Squad, and he also gave information about the whole Peacemaker series. Now, we still don't really know the plot. We do know that the jumping point is spoilers if you have not seen the Suicide Squad, which is currently on HBO Max, so you should go and see that right now. But we do know that it is the jumping point of the series, is when at the very end credits, where we seen that John Cena's Peacemaker survived, and where he was shot by Bloodshot, and he lived. So I guess Bloodshot, it's not that great of a shot. You could take down Superman, but you can't take down Peacemaker. Whatever. So we know that he lives. We know that it is an 8 episode series. We do know that James Gunn basically wrote everything and produced everything, and he's show running some things. This was all during the lockdown, so he had a lot of time on his hands to be like, hey, I want to create this thing and make sure that it's fully fleshed out. And I trusted James Gunn. And the reason why I trust him is because Warner Brothers or Warner Media tends to trust James Gunn too, and they allowed him to do whatever he wants. So there's no gun cut. So
Mhm.
that's something we can look forward to. But here's a very interesting thing. There was a watch along that they did with James Gunn, and he revealed that TDK, or the detachable kid, played by Nathan Fillion, is not dead.
Oh.
He is alive. So remember when he like separated his arms? It was like choo choo
Yeah.
choo choo choo, and they all like, and the guns was like, vroom, 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 vroom. He survived, and that's because when you could see on the monitor, remember it had everyone's kind of like flatline when they were killed. His never flatlined, and I guess just through the chaos of everything, he survived, which is weird because I would think Amanda Waller would be more attentive to that, or maybe they purposely didn't say that for a reason. But he is very much alive, and he could possibly make an appearance in the Peacemaker series. So I, for one, am very excited about that. And I wasn't excited until I saw the actual movie. Then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. This makes sense. Because at
Yeah.
first I'm like, you're giving John Cena a TV show? Why? So,
Yes.
is there
Yes, it
any
was.
thoughts?
Yeah,
Your
yes,
month.
yes. Well, I know we had a. I would give a shout out to. I believe we have Tony Polanco, Chris Seeley, and Joey Polanco. They were on our recap for the movie, the Suicide Squad. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't think Joey was able to make it actually. Um, but yeah, I thought the movie was great. I know a lot of people said the movie was horrible. It's totally fine with me. I thought it was great, and I looking forward to seeing how this series works. I know it's supposed to be a prequel about John Cena's character, So I want to see how that comes together. I definitely expect there to be other characters appearing in this as well. And of course, I would make an assumption that maybe Amanda Waller as well, because you have to explain how he gets involved with the actual team stuff as well. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know have any I don't really know what to expect, and I think that's great. But if it's treated the same way that James Gunn treated the movie, I think it'll be pretty awesome actually.
I completely agree. I mean, John Cena has that really weird kind of comedy where he's like playing it serious, but it's actually comedic. So it
Hmm.
works. And you can currently see him in Vacation Friends, which we have an interview coming up for that too. Where some argue he's not that great. I thought it was a perfectly decent, fine movie. But kind of moving on from that, we do have DMC. Z is in zoo. That is a TV series that is coming to HBO Max. See, we're having some things for HBO Max. I know a lot of people complained that at launch we didn't have a lot of original content. So they're getting there. I wish we had some what is it, Green Lantern series information. Maybe they might drop a sneak peek or a piece of information that they'll tell us about that. But we're going to talk about DCM. This is a series that not a lot of people kind of really know about. But what we do know about the TV show is this: it will consist of around 8 episodes. So that's a nice, good, solid number. I don't like the 22 episode thing because I feel like it's dragging on forever. So I like this little nice condense. It's 2 more episodes than what we get over at Marvel.
Yeah.
So, that can lend itself to a more fleshed out story,
Hmm.
hopefully. Not saying that it will. I don't know. They did cast recently 9 additional people. This is a thing that's still in production. So this also comes from Ava DuVernay. So Ava DuVernay is having some projects.
That's good.
This is from the mind of Ava DuVernay. So that is very good. It is said to be very promising and is very provocative. It is based on the dystopian DC graphic novels of the same name, and it is a 4-part limited series that stars Rosario Dawson and Benjamin Bratt. So right
Mm.
there, I'm interested in. When we last saw Rosario, she was over on The Mandalorian,
Yes, and I'm
where
looking forward
she.
to that show also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we need her. Give her a spinoff because she's just amazing
Yeah.
at every kind of thing that she's in. But yes. So as we know, like I said, it's going to star those two. It's based off the comic, and that what we do know is that sorry, I lost my spot here. It is from the Vertigo uh, properties, and that it will star Alma Orteg, who's playing Rosario Dawson. She's a fearless leader in the series, and that she is setting out on a harrowing journey to reconnect with her son following the rushed evacuation of New York City.
Mm.
Okay. Dawson is the forefront of this dystopian drama, and Benjamin Bratt is playing Picard Delgado, who is a deadly leader of the most powerful, lethal, and ruthless gangs of New York in Manhattan. Yay. I feel like movies have recently just kind of destroyed New York City and made it a dystopian. We have Reminisce, which is also on HBO Max. And that's also kind of post apocalyptic, water world,
Yeah.
boring, but it's there. So it's basically DMZ stands for demilitarized zone. So there you go with that. And it's a miniseries that is expected to play out like Escape from New York and The Purge.
Mm.
So you get those two. It kind of seems like it's not bad at all. I'm interested to see what it'll look like
Oh yeah.
and what's going on. It is set amid a second American Civil War. There we go. It sounds like today.
Yeah.
So the country is enthralled in the second Civil
Yeah.
War,
Yeah.
and Manhattan is the same zone. So I live. Yay! I'm in the same zone.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Very interesting.
Wait, oh no, wait, I'm not. Here we go. The nation is blown to smithereens. So nice to know you, Richard.
Oh.
As isolated remains of the fractured republic, barely resembling the land that it once was. So you could just imagine, the Statue of Liberty is kind of floating in the ocean at this point. Um, and that it is very political, and it's a bold property that for the up and coming HBO Max series. So that kind of seems really interesting. I like that, and we have a lot of people will be joining it. So that is actually not bad. I look forward to that. We have Hoon Lee, Freddie Myers, I'm butchering his name, Mamie Gummer, Jordan Preston Carter. What was it? We have a lot of people that they cast, so this should be really fun. And I kind of look forward to how it's going to look. And it kind of looks like Westworld a little bit, and it's kind of dystopian Manhattan city.
Hmm.
So I'm interested in everything that Ava DuVernay is kind of doing right now for TV shows. I hope it's more focused and not as bad as that other movie she did about that had Oprah in it.
Once Upon a Time.
No, A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, that's it.
You leave Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time was good except for that last season where they just kept continuing and nobody wanted to see that, so they canceled it.
Yeah, so I
So
figured it was something about time. So yeah, you got it correct.
A Wrinkle in Time when Oprah was like 50 feet tall, and I'm just like, why?
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
no purpose for this. This was just not good. Let's not do that anymore. So, kind of rounding that out, we are almost complete, folks. I'm sorry for the torture. We do have the upcoming season of Harley Quinn, which I'm a big fan of, and you're a big fan of, and we get to see more of the relationship of Poison Ivy and Harley, which I'm sure will be better than Batwoman.
They didn't announce a release date for that yet. Is it this year or is it to be
No, it's still one of those to be determined situations.
okay?
Um, but I think it should be this year. I hope it's this year.
Yeah,
That would be good.
I know Warner Brothers Animation pretty busy now, so that's why I'm
Hmm.
not sure if it's this year. But whenever it comes back, I look forward to it for sure.
Yes. So that I look forward to that because I genuinely love the relationships that and this is animated. I love the relationships of everything
I
that they kind of created.
I love the relationships, and I love the fact that this is a adult oriented context.
Yes, it
I know
is.
growing up as a kid, I watched Batman the animated series. I'm like, yeah, this is an awesome show. But I wonder how would this show be if I'm a little bit older and it felt as though the show reflected that. And that's what I
Hmm.
feel when I watch the Harley Quinn show. People cussing and violence, and I say, yeah, this is excellent. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but and she's moving on with her life, and I kind of love that, and I love the relationship that they have between Harley and Ivy, and I'm really shocked that they're able to get away with a lot of things that
Oh
they're
yeah.
able to get away with.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So, but they did say you do know the story of the one thing that they couldn't get away
Oh yeah, with Batman.
with Batman.
Yep. So if the season is delayed, it's because of they had to fix that particular thing. Yeah.
Batman went to Party Town. Ew. So we do have a brand new series that is coming, which will be an upcoming series of Batman Cape Crusader. So we're
Hmm.
getting another season. We're getting another series. It's going to be created by the Bruce Timms, who has
That's
created,
great.
the animated series. So that should be really exciting. And we grew up watching Batman the animated series, so it's really nice to have a new generation grow up with their own. Because I was like a kid when that came out. I remember going to school and like coming back from school and having my little sandwich with my little juice box, watching that. I think it was either 3 or 4 o'clock. I came along with Superman, watching that and then passing out, but like being really happy because I watched those shows. So
Hmm.
it's nice to have a new generation kind of grow up with that, which is, I think is going to be not. I don't want to say dark, but not for to kids. It's not going to be on like DC Junior.
Hmm. Okay.
So that should be very good. And kind of wrapping up everything, we do have a preview of Young Justice Phantoms, and they're announcing that there's going to be a lot of spoilers about that show. So
Okay.
do
So
you?
I do have a question.
Hmm.
Now, you mentioned Titans is also going to be. Are they going to talk about Titans at this event? Now, the question I have
Yes.
is, what in
I
particular?
skipped two.
Okay,
Titans and Doom Patrol.
okay. So I would like to know what in particular are they talking about Titan, because the season 3 is happening now. Are they going to talk about tease the second half of the season? Because I know it's like 13 episodes.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to figure out, what are they going to be talking about? I don't know, upcoming episodes or plans for another season, or is that's to be determined?
Well, I think hopefully that they're going to get renewed. This is not Netflix over here,
Yeah.
so so we're gonna get some of that, and I think they're gonna talk about the season now, and what you kind of can expect, kind of relationships, falling outs
Oh yeah.
of what's gonna happen. Well,
Well,
obvious, I don't think that they'll spoil everything aside from what was already shown. So if you're
okay.
not all caught up, I think you should do
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say this: if there's anyone that is intrigued by this series
that.
and have
Hmm.
not watched it, and you have access to HBO Max, you need to watch the show. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying, obviously, if you're into this stuff, I think
Hmm.
you already know about the show and you have been watching it. But if not, and you are intrigued, I will highly recommend you watch the show, especially season 3, because in the first couple episodes, there's already stuff happening that
Hmm.
is a pretty big deal to what happens in this show moving forward. So definitely check it out.
That is very true, and then they tackle Bruce Wayne very well.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's really nice. It's refreshing to see different iterations of Batman or
Hmm.
Bruce Wayne on different, shows or movies, and it kind of makes it refreshing at the same time.
Hmm.
So I do appreciate that. And in Doom Patrol, I know if you watched Doom Patrol.
I haven't really caught up on Doom Patrol yet. I know season 3 is about to start if it hasn't already
Hmm.
started. So I need to catch up on that for sure.
Yeah. So that kind of rounds out everything. We do have some animated films. Where we have a sneak peek at Superman and the rest of the Justice League. That's right. They're doing the Injustice based
Really?
off the video game,
Oh,
not
really?
off the comic, because I
Okay.
think adapting the full breadth of the Injustice comic is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Um, that is just a lot. I read it and I'm like bawling it all over the place, but you have to kind of condense it because it's a lot that's
Hmm.
going to happen. But I know a lot of people are excited to that. I personally wish it was a comic because the comic was amazing. So, any thought on the whole Deep Injustice series from what you know from playing the video games?
Well, I am curious about that. I
Mhm.
know that there has been a rumor floating around that NetherRealm is working on Mortal Kombat 12 right now. So they're not working
Mm.
on the Injustice video game,
Mhm.
supposedly. I don't know if that has anything to do with this Warner Brothers stuff that happened. But what I will say is, yeah, I'm very curious to see what this Injustice series is like, because I enjoyed the games. I don't know how it's going to be, like if it's going to be similar to how they did the Mortal Kombat, because they recently released a Mortal Kombat animated Legends.
Mhm.
They did one last year with Scorpion. That one I thought was really good. This other one, I haven't heard many positive things about it, so I have to see it.
Ooh.
But I am curious to see if that is approached the same way with they had fatalities in this other one, and it's very graphic. So I'm curious if this is the same thing, because again, now you have DC characters. I don't know if the fans want to see Superman get ripped to shreds. So I'm curious to see how they approach that in this with this animated series.
But it will be kind of and be fun. But what we do know is, well, this is kind of what I love about a lot of the DC animated movies is they don't
Mhm.
really announce things before they start it. So we're gonna expect to see this film in the fall.
Okay.
So that means that they're just shushing their mouths until we get something. So that's a good thing. What I do love about that, and that um, they did have some kind of behind the scenes commentary, and that it's not tackling the storyline that was already exploited in the game. So
Okay.
that is a good thing. It seems to be adapting the prequel of what happens before, which is the rise of evil Superman. So you have evil Superman in this, and then remember we also have League
Okay.
in the video game. So although the Superman is supposed to be considered the antagonist, they said it's very challenging to not feel his pain of loss. So we all remember that the whole reason why he turned evil was because of the Joker. Remember,
Yep.
he went and basically killed Lois Lane, and she was pregnant with the goobers, the little babies, and the babies died too because he what was it? He used the Scarecrow serum to make him think that it was what was it? Was it Scarecrow or was it someone? He made him think it was. I forgot who the villain was that he thought he was fighting, but it was actually Lois Lane, and he beat her to death essentially. It is a very dark comic. Jeez Louise. So you're able to feel the loss of his pain because it's not like his family died; he killed his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's extra layered of pain right there. So um, that's the thing is what they're saying.
I,
He's not. Yeah.
well, I just gonna say, I look forward to seeing it.
Mhm.
Don't know if it's gonna be as compelling as Invincible, but I look forward to seeing it.
You don't know for beat as
I
I think.
Invincible is just it's I that show feel like it's in its own stratosphere.
Wait,
But
what show is Invincible?
the show with the father as a superhero. We did our recap on this show, and the son that tries
Oh
to
gosh,
become.
yes,
Yeah,
Amazon. I
yeah,
blinked.
Amazon. Yeah, yeah. But hey,
Well,
because you mentioned that he beats up the wife and all this other stuff, so
yeah.
that's why it made me think of that. So I mean, we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it for sure.
But that was kind of different, because he didn't have the mind control, and it wasn't like, he made the conscious decision. He had good intent. Well, you could kind of say there, the
Yeah,
good intentions.
yeah,
But no, here's the thing with Invincible. His good intentions was basically to destroy Earth so that they can bow to him.
yeah. That's
So for
exactly
his
what it
good
was.
intentions, this was for like the greater good of good intentions. Like I'm gonna stop this dude here and but it backfired as opposed to I'm gonna kill the humans on planet Earth so they can all you know
Hmm.
serve under me and I'm a god. It's a wee bit different.
Yeah, yeah. It is different. It is different for sure.
So yeah, hopefully this will all work out. And they've been in production for a while. That's kind of what I like about their animated movies is they don't start talking. They just do, and then they talk later when like things are like we're almost done. Video games need to kind of take their lead in that.
Hmm.
So yeah, we do have that, and like I said, it's not covering so much the comics, and it's not so covering. It's going to cover the comics, but not so much the game, which is what I really wanted. I didn't want a kind of adaptation of video games, so page for page kind of thing. So it gives them a lot of creativity and a lot of room to do things. But hopefully it's really good. So that seems to be everything at the panel. I mean, there are other things like the books and the comic books, but we're not going to really get into that. So that seems exciting. I'm excited for that. Oh, also we do have a animated heist movie called Catwoman Hunted. So that's
Yeah,
not bad.
interesting.
So, and then also don't forget there was a Mortal Kombat recently did a trailer for the Nether Realms for the video game thing. No, was it the video game thing? No, it was for was no, I think it was for the video game. No, here's the thing. It was weird. It was the Mortal Kombat movie. So it's Mortal Kombat Legends. Kind of revealed
Yep,
that Shaggy.
I saw
You
that. Yeah, I
saw
did see
that?
that. I did see that.
So Shaggy is poor Shaggy. Thoughts and prayers. Rest in peace to him. So, yeah, it was like hilarious and then sad at the same time. But if you have any thoughts on Shaggy and Mortal Kombat Legend,
Oh no, I need to watch the Mortal Kombat Legends, the one that they just released. I need to see that. I
eh,
enjoyed the Scorpion one. I have not heard positive things about this other one, but I need to watch that. I'll probably watch that after we record this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shaggy thing started out as a joke. They
Mhm.
took it serious, so I don't have a problem with that. I was entertained when I saw it, so I'm cool with that.
But they did. Yeah, Ed Boons tweeted it out, and it was just utterly hilarious. But I would love to see him in Mortal Kombat Legend.
Oh yeah.
That would be really cool. And then he got kind of possessed with the power. Oh gosh. But yeah, for those that don't know, it was kind of like it was a joke that in Scooby Doo Legends of the Fantor, was it Fantor? Fantosia. Anyway, it's in one of the Scooby Doo movies where Shaggy brutalizes a gang of bikers. And yeah, that that happened. So he would be a great addition to Mortal Kombat, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, put him in a game, put him in a movie. It'll be wonderful. But that seems to be everything kind of from DC Universe and DC Fandom. Again, it'll be on October 16th, and it'll be available on everywhere from Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And there's also a DC Kids fandom, so don't worry, there's a lot of things for the kids and the DC superheroes, which is really amazing. You really should watch it. So, yeah, that seems to be everything. So, thank you for dealing with the chaos of us. Once again, I am Dana, and I've been joined by Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. Any final thoughts?
Oh no. Thank everybody for checking out the show. We have a lot more shows coming soon. This week, later this week, So stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
More content coming.
More content. So, yep. Thank you very much, and have a great day, morning, afternoon, evening.